wait for YouTube just to confirm that to me, and then we can check audio levels, but everyone should be able to hear me. Yes, we are live. I've just had it confirmed to me. So, welcome everyone. This is the third round of the FTR BTCC Blueprints with STDAsh Designs BTCC. We are for rounds 7, 8 and 9, the third event at the Sainte-Croix B circuit. And you're probably wondering why it's me you're hearing. There's no Sean today, unfortunately he's out. We wish Sean a speedy recovery, and he should hopefully be back in the booth with me for next week. But it's not just me tonight. As a stand-in, we are also joined by Darren. Darren, how are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you doing, Liam? We won't tell them what we really did with Sean. You know, they'll never find him under the patio. It's fine. It's fine. We've got this. We've got this. Oh, yeah, as for that, I'm fine. How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We've had some good racing the last few weeks in this, and this track hopefully should provide just as much as last week. Last week was pretty mental. So, while we wait for qualifying to kick off, I will go through the championship points with you all. So in the driver standings is Chris Clements, who we can see on our screen here, running 4th currently in practice with 90 points. In 2nd is Lewis Edwards on 88, followed by his teammate Graham on 83. Adam Piper is on 78. Rob Schouler there is on 67, stopped by the side of the track. Connor Heron in the pits in his MB McGann is on 63, followed by McIntosh on 61. Ash Sharp, who is also in the pits in his Laser Tools Racing, is on 60. Liam New is on 45. Luke Clifford on 43. Mark Brooks, who I've been told it's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, he sits 11th in the standings on 26 points, tied with Leon Welsh on 26 points. Anthony Hunt, who was our debutant last week in the Team Hard car, on 23, followed by Stephen Rickwood on 20 points. What does that do for the teams? Cecily lead on 171, WSR just behind on 168, and there's a bit of a gap back down to Accelerate Motorsports on 128. MB Motorsports sit 4th with 106, Laser Tools Racing 5th with 86, Team Hard 6th with 68, and Powermax Racing sit 7th on 46 points. So that's all the teams and drivers gone through. So while we have a little wait for quality to start, you've been watching a little bit of Darren. Who are you fancying? Who do you think's looking good so far?
Well. There are. The problem is, this league has come on very well, and there was only initially when I came along to full throttle, there was a good handful that I could say, oh, I've got a good feeling behind. But the pack now is actually filled out with such good drivers. It's difficult to say. All it takes is something to go wrong. Lots of good drivers out there: Piper, Rotary, Vulcan, and then you've got the likes still of Joker Man, Placenta Denta. They can come out of anywhere. I'm going to put my money on today. I'm going to put him on Joker Man, just because he's sometimes he's a bit of an outsider, but he really gets into the battle, and if he sticks in that battle, he can push through. So I'm hoping he can do well. Saying that, I don't know his tyres that he's got left over, so you're now going to probably tell me he's got a terrible tyre selection, and I've picked a real bad one to back.
Well, he has 2 sets in race 2 and 2 in race 3, so we're not going to see him on those in race 1. But it's interesting you pick him. He was almost one of my title rivals for last season, but he missed a couple of rounds, so that didn't work out for him. But he's not had a great start to this season. He sees himself already 30 points off the top. This season has been a little bit BMW dominated. They've had their wings clipped a little bit, they've had some power taken off and weight put on, so maybe we'll see the first non-BMW win of the season, and maybe your call could be great. Maybe that will be Joker Man, who could take his first win of the season, and Mazda's.
Forgive me, you're going to have to remind me what his real name is.
Joker's real name is Xavier McIntosh.
That's the one. Hey, Xavier.
Yes.
keep seeing him pop up on my Facebook, and I'm like, I think that's the same one, and I'm afraid to press the button or not. It's one of those where you don't want to make yourself look a fool. I might just take the dive. But you're right about these BMWs. The one car that I'm surprised I don't see further up the field is those Scirocco's, because they've got so much torque. They are so light and they've got so much torque, and with the front wheel drive, they're normally a quite decent all rounder for that for the in GT Sport. Now I've only raced them mainly in the GT4 types of Scirocco, so maybe it's quite a step down for the touring cars. Is that true?
Yeah, you'd be right. The Scirocco's probably haven't lived to as high the standards as they would have maybe expected, if you would expect any of the front-wheel drives. It's been Connor Herron and the Renault Megane that's been the sort of standout driver, but Liam New has been looking quite quick in his Team Hard Scirocco pre-race, so maybe he'll get in about it. He was doing quite well last week.
They are good cars, I have to admit. When it came to doing like the just the daily challenges around Brands Hatch, and you had to do it in GT4s, those Scirocco's, you know, let's be fair, on most of the dailies it was the Audi TTs which just completely dominated with that stuff, but the Scirocco's could really actually hold their own against them, and it was quite nice to see. So it's odd seeing it not happen in the same place, but you're right, those BMWs obviously just so balanced, being the front engine rear wheel drive. They just have to, I'm guessing they've got the handling and the power just to push them through.
Yeah, the BMWs are the best handling car here, but the front wheel drives make up for it in the straight lines, which there are plenty of around here. So as you can see, qualifying has started. 3 minutes 55 to go. We're looking at last week's surprise pole sitter to, I think, basically everyone, Rob Schouler in his Rick Parfitt Jr. liveried Mazda Atenza, number 14 on it. You can see him repping his AXR helmet there. That is his own sort of little esports team that he runs. Enters a lot of special team events, but he currently has Liam New tucked up behind him. It's quite a long outlap here. We're waiting a while for them to get around. They should only really get 2 timed laps.
Yeah, how long do you, well, do you reckon, well, yeah, 5 minutes. What was the average time around this?
Fastest we saw in practice was a low 2 minute 15, so I'd say an average is probably about a mid 16.
So we're looking at a similar sort of Spa length track here.
Yeah, what a GT3 car would do at Spa.
Yeah. So do you reckon this is the sort of Gran Turismo's version of Spa itself that they've made?
I mean, it's a very light track, so it could be Spa in that way. I don't think Spa has as many 90-degree corners, but Liam New has opted to pass Schouler, going on to his lap. So Schouler is he gonna go for the bump draft? Anyway, we'll go on board with Liam New to talk you round this lap. So first braking point, just before the 50 metres. There's track limits here on turn 1. You must keep 2 wheels over the white line. Then it is power out all the way up this hill. Keep the car to the left because you've got a little right flick into a sort of uphill left off camber braking zone. These front wheel drive cars do not like it. A little bit of a blind exit. You're going up over the crest. Then this is a great part of the track. You start plummeting downhill towards a very fast right, and then you've got to sort of pull it back, slight hit of the brakes for the left, because this all flows into each other. You can see he lefts off. Now he didn't actually hit the brakes there. That's brave. Then onto this bridge. Again, uphill off camber. Going across the bridge. This is probably going to be a scene of lots of action, because it's going to be a good overtaking point with a sharp 90-degree left. As he'll be looking out for his braking point just before the 100-metre board. Down to second. Don't think that was quite optimal for him. Again, another plummet downhill. You've got a very long right-hander, which actually, you feel like you want to run out wide, but you've got to keep it tight basically the whole way through. This hasn't been the greatest lap for New. He's actually pulled a little gap to Schouler. This is going to be where the front-wheel drives can absolutely stretch their legs. A big, long straight. They will fly out of that corner, but the saloons will start to catch the hatchbacks towards the end of this straight. The hatchback's top end isn't crazy. Now, a little, almost hairpin right-hander. Again, more walls, so it's a little bit blind on the exit. Then, you've got to pull the car back to the right. You've got another left, right, left. See, the BMWs have been doing this flat out, and I don't think any other car can. Into this left-hander. No, Liam New, a decent size left.
Yeah.
Then he's got one more corner to go, and he'll post the provisional pole lap. Let's see who can beat it, and what time it'll be. It hasn't looked the greatest lap. And it's going to be, when he crosses the line, 2:69. So not great from him. He's done 15s in practice.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, a little bit to improve. Well, I'll say that, a little bit to improve. Not really much time left for them to get another lap in, really, is there?
No, one more go. A couple of drivers have got round. Looks like Connor Heron was the last one to get round for a lap. A lot of these drivers are only going to get one in. Lewis Edwards goes 6th, but he is on the medium tyres. As for medium tyres, who do we actually have on them? We've got Schouler, who's on them. That would be why New was pulling away. We have Graham, Edwards, Clements, Piper, Rickwood, and Mark Brooks. So we've got quite a lot of the field on the medium tyre, so I'm sure we'll give all this information to Sean and he can pull this off of his chart.
This corner intrigues me at the end of this bridge, you know, with that right-hander. But it's a lot. And there you go. See how you can fall foul there off that corner. I don't know if you're watching.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, getting caught up there. But it's after that long straight. It's a really open right-hander. It's a hard right-hander to defend against. So you know you are going to be very susceptible to people just going, oh, I'm going to slip. I'm going to send it. And I don't know how you're going to defend it very easily around that corner without taking it really slow and then suffering around the next couple of complexes.
Yeah, this track, a lot of corners you can sort of switch back and quite hard to defend on, which for us hopefully makes for some very good racing, as Clements and Graham are almost racing in qualifying here. So we see Sharp in the middle of the pack, 1.4 seconds up. He currently sets P10. And are we going to see a shock Liam New pole in only his 3rd entry into this event? He had a solid but steady round 1 at Brands Indy. He had a pretty much improved at Topolis. Nobody improving at the moment. Luke Clifford jumps up. Sharp goes to 2nd. Who else have we got? Piper goes 8th on the mediums. Connor Heron jumps to pole. Wow, 2,000ths. It's an all front-wheel drive front row, but expect them to start going backwards as soon as we start.
Indeed. Right, bear me a second.
Not great starts for front-wheel drives, followed by 2 attendances. So it's Heron from New, from Sharp, from Schouler, from Clifford, from Welsh, from Graham, from Piper, from Edwards, from Clements, from Rickwood, Brooks, Hunt, and McIntosh. So, McIntosh qualifying at the back.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there.
There's lights out. Inevitably, the front-wheel drives have had a bad start. They're going to get swamped by Schouler and Sharp. See, when the camera changes, who will be leading into turn 1. It's going to be Schouler. Heron's still going to be on the inside, though. But I think Schouler's going to get it done. And he is on the medium tyres as well, so don't forget that. He is leading on the medium tyres. We saw him lead last week, and, well, that ended very, very badly. So, no stewards results came from that. It was deemed a racing incident, but Heron's going to fight back around the outside, and Sharp's going to try and slip down the inside. Laser Tools racing into the side.
Definitely trying to hold his own, Sharp.
Yeah, it's 3 wide between New, Sharp, and Heron. It looks like the front-wheel drives have just pulled their way through. Who's going to be second? Is it going to be New, or is it going to be Heron? Side by side through here is very risky, but it is New. Let's have a look further back a little bit. It looks like Edwards has dropped back a little bit, so has Graham. McIntosh has gained a few places, and the 2 PMRs have fallen to the back. So pretty clean, but pretty elbows out start there, Darren.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely BTCC style racing. Elbows are wide, as they love to do. As you see, too wide through that corner at the end of the bridge there, and you look like you're just going to get slammed against that metal barrier on the other side. If you're pushing too hard on the inside, you're going to slam your opponent up against that, which might not be brilliant, but at the same time, at least in GT sport world, that means you keep some momentum up and you don't get massive damage on the front of your car. So I suppose horses for courses.
Yeah, and here comes Heron. He's going to pass New, and is he going to pass Schouler into the end of the back straight? He does. New might also get past Schouler here. So the front wheel drive, pure power, might put Schouler down to third here. He's going to be side by side with New. But New looks like he's got it done, and is New even going to challenge at Heron? No, he doesn't. There's Luke Clifford up in P4, with Sharp setting fifth, with Clements behind on the mediums, making a little bit of a train, with Hunt and Graham behind. Oh, as Edwards gets out wide, trying to put a move on Reckwood. Piper has gone down to 13th, with Welsh 14th. Something perhaps has happened between those two, because they were 6th and 7th a moment ago.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there at all. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going on. There's just so much action, and I have to admit the camera angles are not the easiest to be able to keep up with the pack more than the individual driver.
No, the off-track cameras here aren't the greatest compared to the real tracks, but we saw New having a go at Heron into T1. So is this going to be the fight for the win between Heron and New? Heron, who's jumped into that McGann and absolutely flown, and New, who is a rookie to this series. So
I'm watching the battle at the moment between 11th and 12th, between Piper and Cossey. It's getting very, as you say, elbows are very wide. They're trying to get past that. Scirocco's just got that, like you say, initial torque and lightness to get through the corners quickly, but that BMW at the same time has got that balance to help him out, so it is just to and fro, and at the moment Piper's just lost that position and dropped down into 12th from Cossey, so Cossey gained that spot, but can he make much of a space back up? And that corner I told you about, Piper's done the inside, dived on the inside, tried to get round it, but the switchback has come back, and again Cossey just sneaking back into 11th, so these guys are going to continue battling, I think, for the rest of this race for sure.
Yeah, as we saw, Cossey just managed to get his front back in ahead of Piper. They were diving down the inside of each other, and it is Mark Brooks who stays ahead of Piper, and his Scirocco power might keep him ahead, but is Piper going to have a look? The top end, the front wheel drives aren't quite as good as the rear wheel drives, or they're not as overpowered as they are at the low end. Here comes Piper down the inside, not able to outbrake it. Either that or Brooks has braked too late. It looks like Brooks is able to hold on. Meanwhile, back up the front, it is New who now leads. He is ahead of Heron. That's presumably happened on the straight, with Sharp now third, and Schouler under pressure from Clifford for 4th place. And Clifford does take the 4th.
Yeah, he's got that. He's got that. I tell you what, it's nice to see Ashley Sharp there, holding that 3rd position, having a podium, and actually having a nice stretch between him and the people behind. So he's got nothing but a higher podium position to start trying to hunt down. Yeah,
and these two at the front are fighting hard. So he's got nothing to lose. It looks like someone was off in the background there. That might have been...
that's Luke.
Was it Luke? I thought it was either him or Anthony Hunt, one of the two. It looked like a white front wheel drive. But yeah, Luke taking 4th and instantly throwing it away.
Yeah, unfortunately so. He did push too wide, went over the curbing and onto the grass, and with that it was just a case of then trying to hold the car before it goes into a spin. And I'll be honest with you, he's lucky to only drop 1 space back, because at the moment Anthony Hunt is all over the back of him in that Scirocco.
Yeah, and just behind them is McIntosh and Graham. McIntosh starting at the back on his super soft, so again not going well for him, but he's making some progress through. And is he going to be able to pass the medium shod BMW of Graham? Not round the outside there, maybe on the big straight. And meanwhile Sharp is now ahead of Heron, so something's happened to Connor Heron, out of 2nd place down to 3rd.
Oh. Yeah, God knows what's happened there. I missed that. I was completely involved in the Graham the Graham and McIntosh battle going on.
Yeah, there's too many places to look. Meanwhile, at the back,
I know.
Stephen Reckwood has had a spin coming off of the bridge. And, yeah, Clifford is now facing some more pressure from Schouler, so this is good showing from them both. Clifford having one of his best performances of the season, and Schouler managing to be up there on the mediums. So he's doing very well right now.
Indeed he is. I'm currently trying to see Placenta Denta is having a right difficult time trying to get past Mr. Alan Piper, and Placenta is on the super soft tyres and Piper is on the medium, so making it difficult for the Mazda to get past that BMW there. He's making his BMW as wide as possible.
Yeah, that's something Piper's very good at. He will defend for his life, even if it's over 11th place. That's what he does. But you know, at the front, Ash Sharp is closed right onto the back of Liam New. So this might not be over. It might be New versus Sharp and versus Heron if Heron can get back into the mix, which you presume he would.
I'll tell you, Ashley's really on form tonight. I'm not saying that he isn't normally, but he's a guy that I love watching race, but sometimes he's just cursed with some real bad luck. But tonight he is really on form, and it makes me wonder, is he on the controller or is he on the wheel? He's told me he's more confident on the controller than he is on the wheel, but he wants to learn the wheel better. So it's going to be interesting to know which one he's on.
I imagine he'll probably be on the controller as he's thinking about having a look at New. That he's going to go for a look on New. Is he going to clear him totally? Yes, he does. Into the lead. The front wheel drives are going to come back on this straight though. Quite
heavy defending.
Clifford and Schouler, bad door banging there. What about further back? McIntosh has got himself up into 6th, just behind the Schouler and Clifford battle by about a second. See Graham just behind Anthony Hunt, followed by Clements, followed by Edwards, and then Welsh has actually got past Piper for 11th place, and then it's Brooks and Rickwood down at the back, and oh, Liam New's off. He's just got back in time. He's tried to fight with Heron and he's gone off, and that's going to put Clifford past him, Schouler past him, and oh, it looks like it was contact with Sharp. Sharp's waiting, so presumably those two have had a crash.
Oh, that is a darn shame. That's a good sportsmanship from Ashley there, but a darn shame because I'm guessing there was probably just a little tap there, and that's sent him that way, and he's done the honorary thing and held up and let him back into race. But like you say, with that, he's just gone from 1st all the way down to 9th. And I'm telling you, he's a brilliant driver, Ashley, but he's sometimes cursed with such bad luck, Liam. It's unreal.
Yeah, Ash almost had his best result here a couple of seasons ago. Of course, the other way around. He almost won a race here back in season 9, only ended up losing P1 on the last lap. But it gives Connor Heron a comfortable lead out front with Clifford, Schouler, and then Liam New all fighting over 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, with McIntosh actually not far behind. So, having started right at the back, McIntosh could find himself with a 2nd potentially out of this race.
I think whatever's happened to Sharp has thrown him a bit because he is struggling to get back into the pace, and the medium tyres on Lewis Edwards have just completely overtaken him and took 9th position. So he's got another space to try and make up now. 10 spaces to make up. Oh, and both of them pushing too hard on the entrance to that bridge. Lewis Edwards taking a bit of a knock, but Sharp taking a real big bang against that opposite side, and that's setting back even further. Don't listen to us, Sharp. Get focused, get in the game.
As he gets sideways, Sharp with front left suspension and front aero damage, that will clear because we use light damage, but I know Ash, he has a tendency to beat himself up over these incidents, so he might be getting some red mist, and it might just snowball, but hopefully he'll get back into it and get some good results later on. So Clifford and Schouler continue their battle with McIntosh and Liam New still at it, 4 of them going for 2nd place.
Oh, blimey. It's a race of back and forth, because again at the back here we've got Adam Piper on the mediums in the BMW, who's now taken 11th position back from Walsh in the Mazda on the softs. So it seems to be a race of we'll take you and then I'll take you back.
Yeah, they're having their own little exclusive battle there. Meanwhile, the battle for second goes all the way down to 8th place. 8th place is a second away from second.
And Connor, I didn't realise 6 seconds in the lead, Connor.
Yeah, he got that 4 seconds due to the Sharp and New crash, but he's just run with it and flown away.
Cool.
As Clifford and New are now going at it again.
Yeah. The problem is if one of them mucks up, there's a raft of cars to take their place, just literally millimetres behind them as well, so it can go any way.
Yeah, you make a mistake that throws away a second, you're down to 8th.
Yep. You
I
say
mean,
that.
Edwards isn't far away either.
Yep. And you now down into 4th from such things, and that's then put. I'm trying to see who's jumped into first. Oh, my guy, Joker Man. Say, he's up in a 3rd. I'm rooting for you, buddy. So see how he gets on, and he's on the super soft. So he's on the super softs on this race, is he? Oh, I didn't think he was going to be on the super softs this race. Oh well.
Yeah, just a result of his bad qualifying that he started way down.
Yeah. Oh God, end of this bridge makes me squirm.
Meanwhile, in all of this, Schouler has somehow gone down from fighting for 2nd and 3rd down to 8th, so he's been a big loser out of all of this.
Wow.
But he knows that any little instance up front and he could get those spots back.
This is it. And this train continues. This train from 2nd to 8th just continues to just keep each other in enough of a gap. Well, I say that, I think Anthony Hunt is probably just out of reach of the slipstream of New from 4th to 5th there. But as for that, it's maybe then splitting into 2 smaller trains, but doesn't mean that they can't start getting closer. Well, 2 laps left, anything can really happen. People are going to start putting the pressure on and going for the, well, it's the last lap move.
Yeah, like you say, splitting into 2, it looks like Clifford, McIntosh and New are forming their own group. Meanwhile, Hunt, Clements, Graham and Schouler are sort of forming their own group from 5th to 8th, so it might just calm down a little bit, but meanwhile New is going to have a look on McIntosh for that 3rd place. This has just been forwards and back for everyone in this pack.
Yeah. He's done it. He's managed to sneak that spot on Joker Man. So
oh,
Joker
and he's
Man
gone
now
for it on
back down to
Heron.
4th. Yeah.
He gets 1 and thinks that's not enough. I'm going straight back on the attack. And then McIntosh is going to come back at him.
Got the inside line. Can he hold it? I'm not sure if it's going to do him any good because it does then turn onto a left-hander. It's dropped it back again.
That has to slot in. Meanwhile, Heron up to 8 seconds out in the lead. So the only thing that can stop Heron taking this win, and the first non-BMW win, and it'll be a front-wheel drive win, is himself. It's the only thing that can stop him now. Oh, Clifford's had a moment going onto the bridge. That's going to put them 3 wide over the bridge.
God blimeys. How's this going to turn out at the end? Anthony Hunt flying up behind him. The second train now catching back up to these front 3. Well, yeah, the front 3 train, let's just put it that way. And it is going to be... Oh, God blimeys. Yep, that's what I thought. Luke definitely got a nudge there, and he unfortunately went into a barrier. Or I don't know if it was a bit of late braking plus a bit of a nudge up the backside, which got him there. So he's dropped down to 9th.
Yeah, I think there was some contact with Hunt. Hunt had a mega run, and I think he's just outdone his braking. But he plods on in 2nd with his teammate, trying to take it back. So it's currently a team hard 2-3.
Oh, nice. And if they can work together for this one last lap, that's going to be quite good for them, especially for team points wise going into this. But to say that, they end up punting each other at the backside. Then you giving Anthony a little bump up the backside, and then gets him a drop down to 5th place.
Yeah, and then it's held up McIntosh, and now Clements on the mediums is going to have a go at McIntosh. There's lots of contact. Ooh. News in there as well.
God, McIntosh holding it down that hill as he's being bumped, and his car's trying to twitch out from underneath him, so he did really well to just hold on to that 6th position. And here we come, last lap.
New goes for it. Meanwhile, Graham, McIntosh and Sharp are almost 3 wide. Clements holds off from New. Looks like McIntosh is going to have Graham, but is Sharp going to go for the pair of them? They're 3 wide basically everywhere.
Yeah. Hunt has managed to squeeze a bit of a gap, at least a good second gap, or well, potentially closing down. But it was a good second gap between him and 3rd place, so I don't think Rusty wants him to have that, so he wants to take that second from him still.
No, well, of course, Hunt and Clifford had some contact, so that could be intervened by the stewards. And if say a 5-second penalty here, that could put Hunt from 2nd all the way down to 8th or 9th.
Oh yeah, yeah. Make a massive difference.
Meanwhile, Sharp has got a Accelerate Motorsports sandwich either side of him. Schouler on his right, McIntosh on his left. McIntosh backs out. And Sharp is going to stay ahead of Schouler. Meanwhile, Liam New is so close to his first podium that Clements has a Team Hard Volkswagen either side of him. One ahead, one in front. What's he going to do? Because these cars are quicker in a straight.
I'll give New credit. He is really giving him the shakedown in 4th position, but at the same time holding some really good wide lines to get maximum speed through them, and he is doing so. That BMW is really being tested. Oh, and he's just pushed it too much.
Yeah, it's a good showing from them, considering both of these Team Hard drivers are rookies, and looks like Hunt has just lost out a bit there. He's gone from 2nd, 4th. That puts his teammate up into the podium, but meanwhile 14 seconds ahead. He's absolutely gone off. He'll know nothing of what's happened behind him. Connor Heron takes the win, his first of the season, and he's absolutely dominated it. Meanwhile, Clements and New are going for 2nd place. Who's it going to be? New's down the inside. Has he gone too hot? Oh, he's going to swipe his teammate. It's going to be Clements in 2nd. Who's going to take 3rd? I think it's going to be New. Hunt will take 4th, Sharp 5th, Graham 6th, Edwards 7th, Clifford 8th, Schouler 9th, McIntosh 10th, Piper 11th, Welsh 12th, and then it'll be Mark Brooks in 13th. They've had not much action for this one. He will cross the line just now. And then 35 seconds back from him is Stephen Rickwood. So, what do you think of that one, Darren? That was pretty crazy.
I needed more eyes, I'll be honest with you. I needed more eyes to be able to see everything that was going on, because there was just so much going on in that race. Absolutely so much going on. Lots of wide elbows and lots of free cars wide into many right-hand corners. So lots of fun. It's going to be good to see how this turns out for the next 2. Now, is the second race going to be a lineup from the results from the first race?
Yes, race 2 is the results of race 1, but of course everyone will swap tyres, so some will go into the mediums, some will not. Then race 3 is reverse of race 2, so we've still got a reverse grid to come up. There it is, Connor Heron with his first win of the season, and pole, and the fastest lap, so he's got a Grand Slam.
Oh, that's not a bad Grand Slam.
No.
Right.
Yeah, look at the lap chart, there's just... It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, the results. 14.5 seconds he had to Clements. And then there was 2 seconds pretty much from 2nd all the way down to 8th. 2.5 seconds down to 9th, 10th.
God.
So all those in the top 10. Piper, we didn't really see much after the start. It looks like he had some sort of incident with Welsh because they both fell down. And then the 2 PMRs down at the back of the grid. But it'll be time for race 2. The time of day will change, the tyres will change, and hopefully that's going to be just as chaotic as race 1 will be, because that was something crazy.
Oh, definitely. Quick shout out to Ashley and Connor Heron, who have both given us a quick little hello and a woohoo from Connor after his victory there on the first race, so good on him.
As Welsh appears to have left the room. Sure, he'll be back in a second. That makes it a bit harder for the host, because he will have to set the grid manually once Leon returns. But drivers are starting to come out in track, so it looks like Macintosh is going to be on the mediums. Our winner from race 2 is going to be on the mediums. Interesting he chooses to do that when he could try and win race 2 again on the softs.
Yeah, I know it's a competitive track, but I don't think you'll be able to stave off the wolf from your door on mediums the whole race, especially if there's others on super softs. That's for sure.
No, but he can also think that if he falls back into the pack, that he can maybe sort of start upper midfield for race 3 and potentially win that one as well. But,
oh yeah, true.
There's a lot of thinking going on when these guys do it. So yeah, Hunt also on the mediums, Mark Brooks also on the medium tyres. So we've got at least 4 cars on them, including our pole setter, which means there's going to be a queue, basically, from the word go. That's of the 9, I think that's the only ones on mediums. Rickwood changed. He must have done that race on the mediums. Once I read them out initially, I completely forget who's on what. Sean's a lot better at keeping track than me at this. He has charts and everything. I just trust what he says. I'm lost without him.
Yeah, he is very good like that, old Sean, with his with everything.
Yeah, there is Liam New currently going around the track. Took his first podium in that race, and only his 7th race in the series, so of course everything we say is completely provisional. There was a lot of side-to-side door banging, bits of contact, so that could all completely change with stewards' reports, but provisionally, first podium.
Definitely. I have to admit, 4 naughties or little cheeky accents through there. There wasn't really that. There was only 1 or 2, maybe 3 incidents that we could see. There's definitely 1 or 2 that maybe might be able to be questioned, but again, you know, with hindsight and replays from both of the drivers, it may actually be nothing. It's one of those you never really know until you go through the full investigation.
No, of course, stewards have all the camera angles, all the driver inputs, everything they want. We get one chance to see it, and I'm sure they can make much more qualified decisions than us. But yeah, Heron on the mediums, Macintosh mediums, Welsh mediums, Sharp mediums, and we're missing one driver who could potentially be on the mediums. Rickwood stops down at turn 1, but our race 1 winner, Heron, opting to go for the mediums. So, and I wonder what tyres did he have left? Did he have to? Let me see. Heron. No, he could have gone race 3 if he wanted, but since he uses them now, he'll have one set for each race for the second half of the season. So interesting, he's gone for the race 2. I thought he would have wanted to try this one again on the supers and try and win it, because he's completely dominated race 1. But of course he has the likes of Vulcan, or Edwards and Graham and whatnot all on the super softs this time, and Piper, who's going to have to fight his way back from 11th, because seems he had an incident with Leon Welsh at some point. We did see them go from about 6th and 7th down to 11th and 12th, and they never really recovered from that point, considering that everyone else was fighting. I thought they would have been in on it, but yeah, we will be starting hopefully any moment now. Do you want to be brave and maybe predict a winner?
Oh, go on then. I'm going to give it. I'll risk it for a biscuit. I'm going to go with my my guy Lewis Edwards. I think now he's on super softs, he's gonna possibly challenge. Not possibly. He's definitely going to be able to challenge for the top podium positions. So see how he gets on. I'm gonna back him this race. Who are you going to go for?
I think it'll be him or Graham. They of course have to make places up. I wouldn't say discount Schouler either. He put in a great performance in race 1. But yeah, time for race 2. And it was as race 1 finished. So Heron, Clements, New, Hunt, Sharp, Graham, Edwards, Clifford, Schouler, McIntosh, Piper, Welsh, Brooks and Rickwood. And they'll go out any second. Expect to see Clements fire off into the lead.
Top of the greens. And they're off.
Yeah. Championship leader Clements already up into P1 as the camera glitch. Hold on, already up into P1. Where will Connor fall down to? He's got a Sharp, Edwards and Graham all on him. He's gone a bit wide. How's it all going? Just a little further down. All seems to be relatively clean. PMR's a little slow off the line. Yeah, all relatively clean. Clement's already 1 second into the lead, and he'll hope that Heron can just stay where he is, as that was Liam New getting out wide.
Connor has done well so far to stave off those two BMWs of Lewis Edwards and Graham, Ethan Graham behind him, as they've been trying to push so far. And he's really, I'll give him credit on a Renault on mediums compared to those two on super softs. It's only to be a matter of time, but with that, Rusty is absolutely, like you say, already 2 seconds ahead nearly at the end of the first lap. Yeah,
and that's great for him. He's our championship leader. Meanwhile, the two Sicilies are fighting rather than trying to fight Heron, and it is Edwards ahead of Graham, but Graham is going to come back. Yeah, like you say, it's more a case of when, not if. But of course, that McGann is crazy quick in a straight line, so it's going to be a bit harder for them.
Yeah.
See what they can do this time. Are they going to bump draft at all?
They're going to have to. I think they are now working together.
Yeah, Graham has given Edwards a little bump draft. Edwards is alongside. And is he going to open up a door that Graham can follow him through? Are they going to turn it into a 2-3? Looks like they might. Oh, Graham's had contact with Heron. And Heron, I think, maybe got a little bit into the gravel through the contact, but seems to have survived. Oh, Anthony Hunt. Anthony went very wide. He's gone down to 7th now. He's not having a great time. He's on the grass.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to have any damage on his car, but that took that corner really, really poorly. So I don't know what happened now. I don't know if there was maybe a bump or he's just getting a bit of aggro from the other drivers and it's just sent him in the wrong direction.
Yeah. On board with Chris Clements. 1 second in the lead. Lewis has got 1.5 seconds back to his teammate Graham. Perhaps Graham lost some time in that little incident with Heron. But here comes Schouler on Heron. He's going to have the inside for the right, but that will turn into the outside for the left uphill left-hander. Is he going to be able to hold around the outside? Nope, thinks better of it. He's got to watch out for Clifford though, because Clifford is on the prowl. Also on the super soft tyres. I think Clifford's going to go down the inside. How's this going to work?
I think it might have just held it there, you know. Oh.
Yeah, Schouler has held on. Perhaps Clifford might have been boxed in by his teammate, but now Schouler's got a good run, but it's going to be around the outside at the end of the bridge. And then McGann will start powering back. There you can see it's re-overtaken the Accelerate Mazda. But here also comes Clifford again.
No, no, two pretty wide, and two of them of the Renaults.
Yeah, Clifford has managed to take both of them in one go, and then here comes New.
Yeah. I think Schouler's going to feel a little bit hard done by here because he's taking these corners really well, and he's just not getting the advantages. But say that a little thing wrong there. I think that was Newt that had it a little bit wrong, and Schouler's now jumped up into no, it wasn't. It was Connor. I apologise. Connor just took a bit of a wiggle.
Yeah, Schouler's got himself into 4th.
Now in the 4th.
Yeah, but he's got the front wheel drives charging at him.
Oh yeah. Adam Piper up into 7th. The back there.
Schouler with a little bit of hip and shoulder to Heron on the exit, nothing too bad. Piper benefits up into P5. Now New and Heron are going to fight through these S's. It's going to be New on the outside, but on the better tyres, and he manages to hold it. Now is Clifford going to come through on Heron? He does. And now is Sharp going to come through on Heron?
Definitely got the pace to, but I think he's being blocked out. Yeah, he definitely has been blocked out, but can he do something possibly by the end of this start-stop straight?
Yeah, both Sharp and Heron on the medium tyres, so equal playing field for the two of them. Of course, they both had great pace in race 1. Ash, unfortunate to have an incident. He's got Anthony Hunt right behind. But a little further ahead, Piper still on the back of Schouler with Liam New just behind. Rotary falling back from Edwards, who is now onto the back of Chris Clements. Of course, this is first and second in the championship, going for first and second in the race. Don't know why I was on that camera angle. Never want to use that one. I was at the behind the car. I completely forgot.
They are really pushing. Now, Edwards has got up into less than just under 0.3 of a second, and all the benefit of this beautiful open left 90 degree at the end of the bridge, which he didn't make a manoeuvre on, but did actually take a bit too wide and took a little touch on the actual barrier on the way through. That's kept him in second for now, but only 3 laps in to 8 laps. Definitely more time for him to try and make a bit more of a look and stare.
Yeah, he had a very good exit out of that long right, and here he goes down the inside of Clements. And it looks like he should have enough to power by before they even get to the braking zone. Is Clements going to try and maybe switch back and get it back underneath? No, they've both braked, and it is Edwards into the lead, but has he gone a little deep there? Looks like he has. Now Clements is alongside. It's going to turn into Lewis's inside, and I think Clements might just have to slot in behind, which he does, so it is Edwards up into the lead. Now Graham still third, and here's this battle pack. Piper has got himself into fourth, but Schouler's not going to want to give that one up, and they've got the feisty Liam New behind them, fresh off his first podium.
Yeah, this is it. I want to do at the moment. I'm going to give Edwards his dues here. He's got in front of Clements there, and he's actually started increasing that gap straight away. He's already up to 0.6 of a second. He doesn't watch it. But well, no, actually, I was going to say you could have some aggro from Graham behind, but he is 4 seconds behind Clements. So I don't think he's, unless there's something desperately goes wrong, I don't think there's going to be much of a gap closed between those two before the end of the race.
Well, meanwhile, New took 2 places on Piper and Schouler. Piper lost 2 places, but then he's got back into 4th, repassing Schouler, and New went off at turn 1, carrying too much speed in, and he's now down behind Clifford. So Piper and Schouler are going to probably have this battle all race long, and there's a bit of a pack forming for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, as the 2 PMRs are fighting, and McIntosh finds himself again down in 13th, so whatever is going wrong for McIntosh this season, as Rickwood somehow hit the wall, but McIntosh from championship contender last season in the same car is having a bit of a nightmare this season.
Yeah, and you and Connor really pushing their lucks. They're both of them going as fast as they can out of these corners, both of them touching a barrier on the exit, trying to see which one can get further away from the other. None of them making too much of a difference, only hundredths of a second in between the 2 of them, and even less now as they head up towards this right-hander. Now Connor has got the inside line, that's going to be good from Hunt in behind him as well. Is he going to make the pass round there? What's happened there? I don't know what happened. Connor just pushed too wide, got caught up and went off into the gravel, and somehow New has managed to hold on to that 7th position, and Connor has chopped back several spaces. It's a crazy track, I'm going to be honest with you, Liam. Crazy track. You think you know what's going to happen, then all of a sudden you've got guys dropping off several spaces down, and someone that's been several spaces behind for quite a long time all of a sudden kicking about in the top field.
Yeah, looked like there might potentially have been contact between New and Hunt, so I don't know if that perhaps was a factor in Herring going off. I don't think it would have been. I'm not in a position to say, and Schouler is now ahead of Piper. But of course, expect Piper to fight back. And I think in all of this, they're catching Graham, because even though they were fighting, Schouler's done a 2:16.8, Graham has done a 2:17.6. Now what's his teammate doing? 2:16.1. So Ethan is a second and a half off his teammate, and almost a second off the cars behind him. So whatever happened on his last 2 laps, because he did a 17.0 on lap 2. So perhaps the car doesn't feel right. Oh, as he's very sideways just before the bridge.
Yeah.
He doesn't look very happy in that car, and Schauler and Piper might start joining the party very soon, because they're only 1.8 behind, and at the current pace, 2 laps, and they are right on him.
This is very odd. How much? Is there any form of modding or setup, jiggery pokery you can do with your cars for the BTCC League?
Nope, they are all custom bopped to be as close as possible. That's tested heavily, but the setups are all locked, so you drive what you have, so everyone has the same car.
Oh dear. So I just saw Schauler hit that barrier really hard on the exit of that last corner. That's given Adam Piper a nice easy overtake there. No trouble for us there for him.
Yeah, Schauler back into 5th, but no doubt he'll have a go back. He's already gaining back in the tow, and it looks like the pit straight has been his place of choice so far today, so he might just wait to there again. Of course, the BMW should be very quick through this next S section.
Oh, and Anthony Hunt did take 7th position from Newt, but just a split second, then it came up to the next corner and there was a switch back done. Newt back up into 7th again. And again, as in the first race, the places ever change.
Yeah, it's never stable here, but the 2 Team Hard Boys certainly getting their elbows out for their debut season, and Schauler right on the back of Piper, less than a 10th away. It looks like he's bump drafted him, so perhaps they've realised that Graham is vulnerable here. But Graham did go quicker last lap despite his big slide into the bridge with a 2:16.7, but it was a 2:16.3 from Piper. So looks like even though Ethan's upped his pace, it might not be enough just yet. Clements is 1.3 behind Edwards, so Edwards looks to have it sealed, doing 2:15.7s. But perhaps quieting down a little right now. Everyone's slotted in. And, oh, McIntosh. He had a 2:29.1 on lap 4 and is down to 14th and last.
I don't know what's happened with him there. I'm wondering if Rob Schauler is going to try and make that manoeuvre on Piper, end of this bridge.
It looks like they're going for the bump drafts. I think they're trying to work together to perhaps get onto the back of Graham. Because it's gone from 1.9 to 1.4.
Doing a good job. They're doing a really good job of it, actually. They are literally staying in each other's wake there. Schauler came right up behind Piper here.
Yeah, we were just on board with Piper and I gave him a bump, and Piper's 2 tenths up, so this could be a 2:16.1. And it's down to 1.2 to Graham. So a podium for Ethan might not be on just yet. He might have 2 cars fighting as Adam actually defends from Schauler. I don't think that's working together, but they're fighting now.
Not anymore. Yeah, I think friendships have ended, and Schauler now actually took in that spot over Piper and moved up into 4th position. It's actually quite a solid overtake, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, perhaps Rob thinks, even though we're working together, I'm quicker than you, so why don't you push me? There's a history of that with Adam. Whenever people are bump drafting him, they want to overtake him because they're holding him up, or he's holding them up. But what's the gap now? 1.3, so they didn't really lose much in that exchange. A 2:16.2 for Schauler with a fighting, so it could have been a 2:16.0 without perhaps, and 2:16.9 for Graham. So again, 7 tenths quicker even without the fighting, or even with the fighting, sorry. So it's not over for P3 if they keep working together and stop fighting.
This is it. It has, with this lap being, with the track being as long as it is, and still 2 laps left, that 1.3, like you say, it can easily disappear. And especially if that 1.3 is hindered by maybe, you know, Graham pushing a bit too hard on an exit of the corner and catching a bit more grass than he's supposed to. And all of a sudden, you've lost that 1.3. You're within a second's gap. You're then within slipstream range, and then you can really come under attack.
Yeah, that's one of Graham's weaknesses. He is very prone to a mistake but he's got about a lap and a half to hold on to try and not make one. Meanwhile, for 9th place, Sharp was having a look at Heron. These two seem pretty evenly paced, both on the medium tyres. But what's the gap now? Still 1.2. Is Piper gonna return the favour? No, he's gonna try and go for a move. So it looks like the helping is ended.
Yep, it seems to be that this corner, this little bottom complex of the track. It seems you get round on that inside there, and you can just stick on the inside all the way up to this corner here, and then just have that, and it's there. I say that all, and now Schauler thought he was going to go for a switchback, but it turns out not. It would have been an ideal position if he could have got it.
Yeah, but surprisingly they've stopped the working together, because they were absolutely in possession to catch Graham, but they've lost on this lap when they were gaining by, I'd say, over half a second a lap. So interesting choice. Adam is usually quite reluctant to work with people. He normally just wants to fight everyone and everything he sees.
He is a racer through and through. It doesn't matter who it is. If it's an old lady in the shops trying to do a shopping, or you know, your teammate on a racing game like this, he's gonna push. He's gonna push as much as he can.
Yeah. Meanwhile, still going on for 9th is Sharp and Heron. Sharp about 4/10 back. But Rickwood and McIntosh are fighting. Oh, Rickwood is forcing McIntosh off. McIntosh has to retaliate. Of course, I think McIntosh had some issues with Rickwood last week, and looks like their rivalry has resumed. McIntosh not feeling that Rickwood was very fair in his driving. He's going to go around the outside this time. Rickwood leaves him space, but the Scirocco is just going to outpower that Mazda Tenza. And is McIntosh going to be able to try anything on the brakes? No. Oh, but Rickwood's gone wide. That's McIntosh through.
Switchback has worked. Good on him. Can he keep that space now? That's the thing. He's actually drawn a good nearly second gap between a 0.8 of a second gap between him and 14th place there, which I guess he's going to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief just to get away from that battle. See if he can make any dent in towards that gap between him and, I believe it's Walsh in front of him there in 12th position. Yes, it is.
It is, yes. Well, back in the fight for 4th. Schauler is back past Piper. But is Piper gonna try a last moment lunge to take it back? No, he's not able to outbrake him. But the BMW is stronger in this part of the track. Of course, we're gonna have to cut away for when Edwards wins, but we'll stay on board with these two as long as we can. Is Piper gonna be able to try something? He's gonna try and duck and dive every which way, try and put Schauler off. It looks like for now Schauler might just have it. We'll keep an eye on that, but rounding the final corner, man we've not spoke about much, Lewis Edwards wins round 2 at Sainte-Croix. Clements takes 2nd, and it'll be Graham in 3rd, and it looks like Schauler is gonna take 4th, so it's a BMW 1, 2, 3. Schauler 4th, Piper 5th. It'll be Luke Clifford, the best of the front wheel drives, up in 6th. Liam New, not quite as good at race as he had in race 1, but I'm sure he'll take it, takes 7th. Hunt comes 8th for a Team Hard, 7-8. Heron retook, no, it was, sorry, that was a different battle. Heron 9th, Sharp 10th, Brooks 11th, Welsh 12th, and McIntosh has held on to 13th. That was the battle I was thinking about when I said Sharp, apologies. Yes, McIntosh 13th, and then Rickwood will take 14th. I'm sure he's happy to just not be 35 seconds off the next car this time around. So, improvement for him. He didn't spin this race, and is a lot closer.
Wow. I'm going to say I called it.
Yeah. Edwards was always going to be a contender, and he's risen from P7 to take the race win, as you predicted. But now he's going to have to start at the back for this race.
He's going to be, like, in his head, he's going to be challenge accepted. Let's just hope he's got the tyres to help him through from the back of the pack to the front. Saying that, though, we have got actually some guys who are good at the back of the pack. We've got McIntosh and our new guy to the league, who gets to start in first place, at least initially, with this race, and see how long he can hold and defend it for. you know, I've seen the likes of Luke do such things on one of his debuts, or well, I thought it was his debut, one of the first times I've seen him in a full throttle racing league, and be interested to see what he can do.
Yeah, as you say, the results we see here will be reversed, so it will be Rickwood from Macintosh. Macintosh, you think, is going to be a favourite to win, but the way his season has gone, it'll be interesting to see. You'll have Welsh behind him, then Mark Brooks, and then you'll have Ash Sharp in fifth, who, until his incident in race 1, showed great pace, so he could be a potential for the win. Then you've got Heron, who did win a race, just behind him, so there's a lot of competition at what will be the front for race 3. And then you've got Hunt, New, Clifford, Piper, Schouler, Graham, Clement, and Edwards, who will all be at the back. I'll have to see who is on the mediums for this one. As Ethan says, if you haven't used them, you have to now for your one required race. So is Liam New on them? Luke Clifford is on them. Looks like Anthony Hunt is also on them. Yet see everyone join the grid. It's just those 9. You're gonna be brave again, Darren, and perhaps pick a winner.
Let me see the tyre selection before I have to make that call.
Well, I know Heron's going to be on the super softs, as is Sharp, as is Macintosh. So, and they're all starting in the top 6.
Yeah.
And your likes of Schouler and Edwards and Graham are all going to be at the back of this field, so it's going to be hard for them to work through.
This is it. I'm gonna put my faith back in Macintosh again, see what happens with him, because he's, like you say, he's got to be on the softs now. Am I right in thinking? Where is he?
Yep, he will be on the super softs.
Yep. So I think I've got some quiet confidence in the guy. He's a very good racer. He's had, like you say, had a bit of a run of bad luck, but he's started off in a good spot now, and he's on the super softs. So, touching wood and hoping, just unless factors like 4-car wide ends up bungling into you and you're just on the outside of it and you get pushed into shadow realm, there's not much else you can do about that. But he's got the setup to be able to pull to complete it and have a good podium position. Let's just hope he can make it.
Yeah, he'll have a front-wheel drive car starting beside him, so he should be in the lead by T1. Front-wheel drives not having the best starts. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of competition for this one. Normally, or occasionally, we see sometimes someone who's not had a great race 2 who will fly off and win race 3, like we saw with Edwards last week. He had that crash with Schouler on race 2, had to wait, and ended up starting at the front and just went on to win it pretty easily. But that should not be the case here, unless Macintosh drives off. With the way his season has gone, he probably won't. No discredit to his driving, it's just not been his season. But yeah, it should be a pretty close race 3. We should be starting anytime soon. So anyone else on the mediums, it appears it's just Hunt, New and Clifford. So 3 of the front wheel drive cars, as race 3 is about to get underway.
Right.
So here it is for the final time tonight. It will be Rickwood from Macintosh, from Welsh, from Brooks, from Sharp, from Heron, from Hunt, from New, from Clifford, from Piper, from Schouler, from Graham, from Clements, from Edwards. So we need to watch out for Macintosh and even Welsh off the line, because they should pretty much fly off into the lead against the front wheel drive cars.
Reds are out. Green to go.
There we go. Macintosh straight up into the lead. Welsh straight past Rickwood.
That seems to be a bit of a cursed spot. That first position has taken it within the first 10-20 metres.
Yeah, apologies there. I just had a tiny little lag spike on my screen, so the cars went a bit glitchy. But yeah, Macintosh almost already 8 tenths. He's out of the slipstream from Welsh. Sharp is going to go around the outside of Welsh, puts himself up into P2. And is he going to have any reply to Macintosh? His pace in race 1 might suggest he does. Ethan Graham is already up to 5th place. So he's had a great start.
Wow. He's making up for lost time on that last race, isn't he?
Yeah.
Up into 5th already.
Clements finds himself in 8th with Piper 10th, so Adam started ahead of these guys and he's now behind them, so not been a great start for Piper. Great start for Graham and Clements. Schouler is up to 11th. Edwards is still in 14th. But there it is, McIntosh 1.2 seconds out in the lead from Sharp. And oh, who've we got? We've got someone off there.
Oh.
It's Anthony Hunt, and it looks like Clifford is also in the wall. So 2 of our medium runners, both in the wall. Hunt has retired from the race. And now Edwards slightly gets inside of Heron as Hunt decides, I'm on mediums, I'm last, it's probably not worth it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It's absolutely crazy from 7th down. New Clements and Piper all together with Schouler now looking to make it 4 wide. And is Schouler going to take a lot of them? He is.
I think he has.
Oh, oh
what's a bold manoeuvre.
It's 5 wide.
Oh my days, it is. This is crazy.
This looks like Clements and Vulcan got together. Let's put Edwards down behind Evil. Oh, as Clements has slammed into the wall.
That's really hard contact.
Lucky he gets away with no damage. He almost had attention from Luke Clifford there. He's still in the tow, so he's going to have a look at Liam New here. Is the BMW going to have the power to complete it? Ooh, it's going to be close because New also has the tow. Clements goes for it on the brakes, past Liam New up into 11th place. Meanwhile, Piper behind Rickwood, Heron and Schouler. Rickwood, the PMR Volkswagen just up ahead. Piper gets down the inside, a little bit of contact for Rickwood. It's never Adam Piper if there isn't contact. Mark Brooks up in 5th, doing well in his PMR, and Leon Welsh now finds himself under close attention from Ethan Graham, so although, oh, Ethan gets sideways as he had Ethan was probably somewhat happy, maybe not with his pace in race 2, but he could be on for a podium after starting 12th on the grid. He could be up into 3rd after a lap and a half. He's going to go for it. Oh, there's contact. Ethan perhaps a little far behind.
A bit too much of a send.
Yeah, even when he pulled out and was on the brakes, he was over a 10th behind, but no harm, no foul, just a bit of time lost. What does that do? Sharp, P2, he's got it to under a second from McIntosh.
Well, he was close. I've been keeping an eye on these two. He was close. He was right up behind McIntosh just a short moment ago before, and he's now dropped back to a second. So hopefully he can start pulling that position back again, because these were the two that we thought might actually do fare quite well this race.
Yeah, they were two that were to be looked at. Of course, they'll be enjoying seeing that Leon Welsh is managing to hold Ethan Graham behind, because they'll know that as soon as Graham gets through, he will be a threat. I think it's going to be not long before we see Graham going for a move as Welsh gets all over the grass there. Perhaps maybe into turn 1. Oh, as Schouler in the background gets into the wall. Is he going to lose any places? Doesn't look like it. Oh, Welsh is wide, and that's Graham through.
Oh, really well.
Yeah.
That's Graham, and I think that's
Mark Brooks.
Yeah, that's Brooks through as well. Brooks up into 4th position.
Yeah, and now Leon, oh, he's got Rob Schouler going down the inside. Rob went for it late, Leon's noticed him, and that's going to be 5th Rob. Ash still about 1 second behind McIntosh. He's on the bubble. If he can get it to the 7/10ths mark, he will get into the tow.
Yeah, for sure. That battle behind 5th place is really starting to hot up here.
Yeah, Connor Heron is in the middle of it all.
And Piper all fighting it out. And then just behind those two, you've got Lewis Edwards and... Oh, God blimey. Yeah, you got Lewis Edwards and Is it? Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Lewis Edwards and Chris behind, just literally right behind him.
Yeah, Edwards and Clements. Clements made a good start, but he's not been able to make the progress that his rivals have, and Edwards has just not made much progress at all.
Oh, no.
As Welsh off, looks like he's had an incident coming off the bridge. Whether it was on his own or he was assisted, we don't know. So Edwards trying to go around the outside of Clements. Well, it looks like
no,
Connor Heron was shoved wide.
2 times I think he caught the side there from two passing cars there. So that's
might have been Piper who shoved him wide. Piper alongside his teammate, so the two WSRs fighting, and here comes the Cecily of Edwards. Piper's going to be in the middle. How's that one going to work out? There's some contact with Edwards. Oh, Edwards has been shoved off, and Piper's now round.
Oh, he's gone. He's absolutely gone.
Yeah, it looks like Piper shoved Edwards off and has now only hurt himself for that, so... yeah, unless that looked different from any other perspective, I'd say Adam can only blame himself for that one.
Possibly so, unfortunately. I have to admit, I didn't know if he was turning out of the corner midway through to potentially, you know, really put the elbows out, but some would say a bit too much so. I don't know, there could be an adjudicator call for that. It's definitely worth another look by camera, but it could just be racing, that's the thing.
Yeah, just the unfortunate things, and Adam has his reputation of being involved in incidents, so whether it'll be another one that gets sent to the stewards, or Edwards might feel it's maybe not worth it because Piper came out worse due to spinning.
This is, well, Ash has closed that gap between him and Xavier McIntosh.
Yeah, McIntosh has had a bad run onto the bridge. Is there Sharp's
really
chance?
Had a bad run. Oh, he's done it. He's done it. He's put down to first place, but can McIntosh get a switchback now around this corner? It's all about the braking.
Yeah, Ash has done well to close in. He's got that lead. Now does he have enough to stay ahead, considering McIntosh will have tow, or even break out of that 7/10 range so that McIntosh doesn't get a tow? Because I don't think Ash has ever won a race before. He's had podiums, but I don't think he's ever won. He came close at this very track several seasons ago, but he just missed out. Could this be his first chance? But McIntosh in the tow.
Really in the tow. And the thing is now, it is down to the driver. Those, you know, yes, there's different liveries on those Mazdas, but they are the same car. It is there's no difference between those two here. That's what we want to let everyone know. They are the same car. They're just different liveries. It's down to driver skill and cojones to some degree when you say Liam.
Yeah, it's gonna be who's the bravest, because what's Graham's pace? 16.8, so he's not really catching these two, because Ash did a 16.3. He actually has the fastest lap of the race, so that shows you just how much Ash is getting a move on. And he's halfway through the race. Could he take his first ever win in the BTCC?
Possibly so. Let's see what it says with the splits as they come across the start. Chill. 19.2125 and a 17 there. So, oh no, sorry, that's a lie. That's not a 19. Why did I say 19?
Ash is a 16.8 last lap, with McIntosh at 17.9.
I know what I did. I may have accidentally clicked a wrong way up and looked at Luke's time in 14th position there. Bit of a plonker manoeuvre.
Of course, McIntosh did have a mistake, which is how Sharp got through in the first place, which will affect his lap time. Ash is going purple again. And that's on Vulcan, who has improved since.
Oh, wow.
So Ash is absolutely flying, and Schouler is now ahead of Graham. So something's happened to Graham. Perhaps he's made a mistake at the start of the lap, because he's lost about 2 seconds to the leaders. He was about 4, he's now 6. So we'll see his split time when he comes over, whether he's a couple seconds down. Yeah, 1.4, so some sort of mistake. Oh, it was Vulcan and Brooks get feisty over the bridge. Is Brooks going to send it on the brakes? No, Vulcan's able to... Edwards is able to keep his P7, and he has about 3.8 seconds to his main title rival as of the last set of points we had, Chris Clements, who's just hit the wall there. He was in close proximity to put pressure on Connor Heron, but He's just thrown away about a second.
Well,
And Graham
Rotary's got past.
fighting back.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Graham. Yeah. Fighting back against Showler. Mr. Showler, that's the one. Mr. Showler.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough fight for P3. And Sharp has broken out of the tow. It's over 8/10.
He is on fire.
Yeah, this is clearly a great track for him. And as long as he can keep doing what he's doing, we'll see what his lap time is when he crosses the line. But they've all been pretty good, consistent laps, especially considering he's been fighting as fast as a 16.3. Is he going to improve? No, a 16.9. Looks like he didn't have a great end to the lap because McIntosh is now back in the tow, but it was still quicker. McIntosh with a 17.2.
Oh, wow, okay. It's the back and forth between Showler and Graham continues. Showler nearly taking it, and then Graham just popping it back just from that start straight corner.
Yeah, Clements has fallen towards Edwards. It's now about 2 seconds between them, 1.6. Mark Brooks is still holding on to Edwards, so it's a good display from Mark Brooks. They've not really seen much of these PMRs other than mostly running around towards the back on their own this season, but Brooks is putting in a good performance as Piper gets very sideways in the background. Piper's been very inconsistent, 17.3, 25.4, 17.0, 19.0. So in 4 laps they range by 8 seconds.
Yeah. Possibly pushing too hard there to try and, well, pushing too hard in the fight anyway, and then after the spin pushing hard again. And like you see, it doesn't in the end actually do you much justice.
Yeah, of course, his 25 would have been the lap that he spun, pushing Edwards off, and then he's had a 19 in there somewhere, and we just saw him get very sideways there. And Showler still on the back of Ethan Graham. This is going to be basically just back and forth, leapfrogging each other, as Graham's going very defensive on the straight. What's Showler going to try and do?
Now, Clements is going to be all too aware of Edwards closing down the gap between him and the 6th position.
Yeah, Clements did have a good gap, but he hit the wall a couple of laps ago and that gap basically disappeared. He was all over Heron for 5th place.
Yeah. Now, he had it just under a second, but then just caught a bit of grass on the exit of a corner, which made his back end just twitch a little, and he's got to make up those 300ths of a second all over again, which he's already managed to do, and still have 3 laps left. So you never know. That could be Lewis up into 6th position by the end of it. We're not sure. It's definitely going to help those two battle it out for the driver's standings, that's for sure.
Yeah, Graham just got a bad exit out of the final turn, but went super defensive in response, and Showler found no way through. Meanwhile, McIntosh just closed himself back up onto Ash Sharp, setting a 16.5, so his quickest lap of the race. Ash with a 16.9, excuse me. So 4/10 in it last lap, and I wonder how Ash is feeling right now. He's under a lot of pressure for what I think is his first BTCC win. I'm pretty certain it's his first.
He's got to say to himself, 1 lap left after this. You know, you want to defend, not too aggressively, but you want to defend. Joe Command's going to want to take first place. Sure, of course he is, but at the same time, none of them are going to push too hard to sacrifice both of their spots go wrong. So, you know, it's going to be a fight to the end. But I'll be honest with you, Ash is doing the job there, and as you see, McIntosh just catch the edge of the. Well, I say that I thought I just saw McIntosh catch a barrier, but then so did Ashley coming out of that corner there as well. So it's going a bit tit for tat.
Yeah, as McIntosh thinks about a move, backs out. Of course, Ash is one of the most popular people in the league. Every car you see driving around here, he has sat and made, done all the liveries and everything, all the decals. But a lot of these people are in a party together, so perhaps they might be wanting Ash to win, because McIntosh knows he's probably not in the championship, so he might want to sacrifice it for Ash, but that takes nothing away from the fact that Ash has got into the lead on merit and he's absolutely holding it on merit.
Oh, well, definitely under his own merit and steam, and to add to your take on the deliveries, he's not. It's not obviously we seeing it tonight on the BTCC, but there's other little leagues that Full Throttle Racing have done, and he's just done deliveries for them, and he does it to such good degree and such a good standard. He really has a good eye for it. So, and massive credit to that man there.
Yeah, of course, as Graham has gone wide into turn 1 under pressure from Schouler, but the BMW is, oh, as we skip away, the BMW is a little bit quicker in a straight line, so he's able to just extend that gap out. But these two are going to go hammer and tongs for P3, but there's a certain Mr. Connor Heron lurking in the background, just waiting to pick up on anything.
Yep. Watch him potentially leapfrog the two of them when there's a little accident on this last lap now. Yeah,
they're going side by side for the S's. That's always brave. Of course, Heron has a Renault Megane. He has the fastest car in a straight line. So he could absolutely, if they do something like this and go side by side, he could blitz past the pair of them.
Yeah. This is it. Now, McIntosh has just come off the bridge, and he did get quite close to Sharp, but still not enough to make that manoeuvre. I think, I don't want to say it quite yet because I don't want to jinx it, but it's definitely looking good for Sharp and a potential podium finish.
Yeah, now we look at this battle for third. Schouler from Graham from Heron, they're all in a line. Who is going to get who? It's just going to be a toll. Heron pulls to the inside, Graham pulls to the outside. Schouler covers off Heron. But now they're going to be 3 wide. Rob inside, Heron middle, and Graham outside. Who's going to be last of the late breakers? It looks like it's going to be Schouler. Graham might find himself down to 5th here. Unless he can get Heron back on the exit. It's going to be close. Graham's trying to force him tight inside. Heron is still there. Yeah. Oh, there's a bit of argy-bargy. Heron's just on. Graham keeps 4th. But rounding the final corner, you can see he's weaving. I'm surprised there's not a flash of the lights. There is the flashlights. Ash Sharp takes his first ever win in the BTCC. McIntosh takes 2nd. Schouler will take 3rd. Will take 4th as he dives towards the wall. Heron will take 5th. Clement 6th. Edwards 7th. Piper, who had a very anonymous race, down in 8th place. He's not had a great round. The Welsh in 9th, just ahead of Brooks. Brooks thought about a move, and New and Clifford are going to be side by side. New's just going to take it and keep 11th place. It'll be Clifford to take 12th, and then Stephen Rickwood, well, he's had a mixed night. He will come round to take 13th place, 10 seconds behind Clifford. But it's this man, the man of the moment, Ash Sharp, with his first ever win in the BTCC League. And we'll just bask in his glory watching him with that trophy, his virtual character with that trophy. Ash, I thought you would have had a better looking helmet than that. It's just default colours. You need to make a nice one, but yeah.
It's the car liveries he's good at. Don't go near the helmets. It's just the car liveries. It's a very specific man. Now, I thought, what a race though. What a race. Good on Ashley Sharp. If there's anyone that deserved it more, it was definitely Ashley. He did really good there. Also really good on the guy I backed there as well, McIntosh. Those two had a brilliant fight that whole last race. Really entertaining.
Yeah, and something we always do here, and it's usually me picking, but we do driver of the day. So you have the honours, Darren. Who is your driver of the day?
Ooh. You know what, I'm going to give it to Ashley Sharp. I'm going to give it to Ashley Sharp. It was a shame about what happened to him in the first race, knocking him, because that would have been a lovely podium position for him. And then he managed to get his first position in the last race there. So yeah, Mr. Ashley Sharp, I'm going to give you the driver of the night.
So there it is. Ash wins the driver of the day in 2 consecutive events, back-to-back driver of the days to top off his very first win. But yeah, I will just quickly check where we are next week, where Sean will potentially be back with us, and you will have to hear less of me, as the lobby ends, but we should be at the Red Bull Ring next week.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, thank you from me for watching, and thank you from Darren for watching as well. Darren, do you have any final comments about this?
Nope, it's been a brilliant evening. Again, always a pleasure to do comms with you for the Full Throttle Racing guys. Thank you to everyone watching in and putting stuff into comments again. Massive congratulations to Ashley and the other 2 winners for tonight's races, because they were just as good and just as competitive. I've had a lovely time. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and to everyone watching, we will see you next week. Thank you.